Manatees are a keystone species that play an important role in maintaining the health and diversity of aquatic ecosystems. They are also beloved marine mammals that face many threats from human activities at sea and in rivers. As a conservationist, Paul Walker has dedicated much of his life protecting these amazing creatures.
We started working with the manatees in 1999, so you may remember the name Woody, Belize's first orphan manatee that was raised and rehabilitated in Belize. That was done here, and he was successfully released down in Southern Lagoon. And when he was successfully released, we were then asked to become the National Manatee Rehabilitation Centre, and we didn't sign on for that, but at that point no one else was stepping forward for it, and we had learnt quite a lot about manatees with that one.
Manatees, or sea cows as they are locally called, are a cultural and economic asset for Belize. They attract tourists, researchers, and educators, and have a long history of coexistence and interactions with humans. When Paul Walker and his wife Zoe established Wild Tracks Belize in 1990, after relocating from the UK 3 years earlier, the couple did not foresee that its conservation efforts would become what it is today.
Back in the end of 2010, the mandate for primate rehabilitation was also transferred to Wild Tracks by Forest Department. And that's really when our wildlife rehabilitation program mushroomed significantly. Numbers went up. Manatee numbers in rehabilitation, thankfully, are generally quite small, an ongoing trickle, whereas the monkey rehabilitative needs are much, much more extensive.
So much so that Wild Tracks Belize has had to expand its operations. The organization, located in Sarteneja, has a dedicated staff. It is also assisted by volunteers who come down to Belize to learn more about monkeys and manatees.
My love for wildlife started when I was a child. I was actually interested in both manatees and primates, so this is the perfect place for me. I started off as a volunteer, and I think hopefully I showed leadership skills, and I came back as an intern leading the day-to-day tasks with animals and the volunteers, and then I was asked to stay on to manage. And I think it's been sort of a learning experience throughout the years that I've been here, developing my role. And I think I'm now finally definitely settling into it and really enjoying my position.
Along with a volunteer, Kira Dixon enters the shallow water in an enclosure at the edge of the Sarteneja Lagoon. Together, they are bottle feeding a pair of rescued manatees, a little over a year old. It's part of a list of responsibilities that is carried out every day to ensure that these animals are fed, taken care of, and properly rehabilitated.
In terms of logistics, it can be difficult at times, particularly under COVID. So we use huge amounts of feed for the animals in rehabilitation. Typically we'll be spending a little over $1,000 a week just on fruit for the fruit-eating animals, plus the milk powders and the solid foods and the pellets and everything else that go in. During COVID, that was a significant logistical challenge. You know, when northern Belize was closed from southern Belize for those first few weeks, the bananas that we use come from southern Belize. So even just having clearance to bring bananas in was difficult.
With those challenges behind, the focus continues to be on the animals and their well-being. On the wooded property, there are monkeys, lots of them, and they're as agile as they are playful.
I think there's never a normal day at Wild Tracks. Something's always happening here. But yeah, I definitely do rounds of all of the animals, making sure that all the animals are healthy and being fed properly, behaving properly. I do a lot of oversight of integrations, so having animals meet each other for the first time, building troops for the wild or groups for releases, and then oversight of food prep for the animals, enrichment for the animals. We make a lot of toys and that sort of thing for the animals to play with while they're here at Wild Tracks.
Howler monkeys are a group of large, loud, and leaf-eating primates. It is important to conserve them because they are a source of biodiversity. These primates also act as seed dispersers that help to regenerate and maintain the forest. For its continued work in conservation, Wild Tracks Belize has been recognized at home and abroad.
It's always appreciated and humbling to actually receive acknowledgement. So I think one of the first and significant acknowledgements was being awarded the James Waite Award through Belize Audubon Society some years ago. That's a very significant national award, and we were really delighted to be recipients of that. More recently, we were on the King's New Year's Honours List, receiving MBEs, which was completely out of the blue. And that means that someone here in Belize has recommended us for that. And somewhere in Britain, they've done the background and confirmed that, yes, what they're being told was credible. And indeed, we received the 2 MBEs, which was, again, very humbling.
The recognition, Walker maintains, is for the work of the entire team at Wild Tracks Belize. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.